Good afternoon, and thank you for me today. As you know, my name is Hannah Hardy, and I will be doing a professional development session this afternoon on instruction and student engagement in math. So, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join this meeting, and I will be respectful of your time here. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, this meeting is instruction and student engagement in math, particularly focus and a goal on number talks, number routines, how to get the students talking and engaged in number sense. And this is for elementary students, K to 5. We will be doing a little bit of a specific discussion on first grade because I know the majority of you in this meeting teach first grade, just as I do. So this very first slide here is in this whole presentation, there will be several resources for you. So after I present this information here, I will send this slideshow to you in an email so that you can go through and click on these live links. But I will click on most of them and briefly go through them during the meeting. So this very first one is a reminder about number talks. And so this is a slideshow within the slideshow about using number talks to facilitate meaningful mathematical discourse, which is just what a number talk is, mathematical discourse. And if you go through here, there are some more books that you can get to read, different resources. And I'm just going to flip through these pretty quickly. The National Council for Teaching of Mathematics, we talk about that a lot. And the framework, these are just several resources that you can use about mathematical discourse, which again is particularly number talks. How to do it, what are teachers doing, what are the students doing, giving you examples. There's videos embedded, different steps. So this is just a great resource for you to go back to. Again, once I send this out to you, these live links for you to do. I'm not going to go through and read all of this right now for out of respect for your time, but these 5 principles here are really important, which is part of this book that was shared in the beginning of the PowerPoint or Google slide. And again, different questions, work time, next steps, and then this, so many resources. There are resources in this resource that is embedded in the presentation I'm giving you now. So all of these links will be live when I share this with you, but this is just other supplemental resources. I'll click on one just to show you. It's a Google Drive, and then there are so many different resources here for you to look through, and you should never run out of resources. But you could always come see me or our math coach if you do want some more resources. But you should be pretty covered with those. So this is some more different resources here and videos. But getting back to our professional development plan here, that was just a reminder. So an icebreaker. This is something you can do with your students at the beginning. This is something I do at the beginning of our math block. Each day I do a number talk pertaining to subitizing, and I will just put this on the board and I won't let the students talk. I'll just say, I want you to think about it. Think about it really quickly. And like let me rephrase. I won't let them talk about it to each other. I will just, they know once I click it that they need to immediately say what they see. And then we will hold discussion and talk about, they'll have their partner talks with what they saw, how they got the answer, what their brain did. I use that language a lot. What did your brain see? What did you see? And I will walk around and look around and listen for specific people that I want to call on that will share with the class. And I'll be looking for different, I'll intentionally call on students that will say the things that will help the other students. So, for example, in this one, I would get students that would say, oh, I see these numbers here, and then the 4 on the sides, and I added it together. Or some people will say, I saw the top row here, the bottom row here, and the 2 in the middle. And so I just want to get those talks going to focus and to get their mind thinking about numbers and subitizing those numbers and mentally adding within 10 and so forth. And that will get us started for our math block with that icebreaker. And then Sherry Parrish is a wonderful author who our math coach actually knows personally. And these are some snippets from her book that she wrote Key components of a number talk, benefits of sharing and discussing computation strategies. Again, out of respect for your time, I won't read all of these out to you. You can read them, but mainly it's just talking about the importance of the discussions with the teacher's role and mental math, how important the mental math is, and also to clarify their thinking, which is why I do a lot of turn-in talks. And I say, I'm following your thinking. That is something I say all the time. I'm following your thinking. And I will demonstrate their thinking on the board so that it shows importance also. And then I try to relate it back to what we're working on that day. And I test their logic and their strategies also. So sometimes in my classroom, we have a really big um, environment and safe space of it's okay to make mistakes. And so a lot of times I will intentionally make a mistake to show them how we grow from it and how mistakes help your mind grow in math. And so they are comfortable to share out their strategies, even if it's incorrect. And another thing, that's the productive struggle that we could talk about, that we talked about in a previous meeting. Some group activities you could do for your classes, since this whole PD is about student engagement in math. These are several group activities that you could do. Number Talks by Sherry Parrish. This is the book that I was just referring to that is in Miss Tate's office. And as I was talking to her before I started this meeting, she said that there could be some copies in your classroom if some of you have went to a new classroom and someone was there before you. So be on the lookout for those, but it's just a really great book to look through and flip and tag with sticky notes. Here are some more resources you can do group activities with. Math flips, all of these different ones all the way up into 5th grade. So for example, I'll click on this one because we're primarily talking about 1st grade. And this is a deck of Stubitizing cards that you can click on. And when it loads, you will see all the slides pop up here. There we go. And it even gives you instructions for just teacher notes. And then you go through these. And usually when I do these in my classroom, I flip through several and they'll shout them out as we've gotten toward the end of the year. Since we're in the spring semester, they're doing it quickly, but toward the beginning of the year, I do it rather slowly. And we talk about subitizing and what your brain sees. And for example, some people might say, oh, my brain just saw 4 because I see that on a dice or a die. And then some people may say, oh, well, I saw 2 here and 2 here, and I know 2 + 2 = 4. And then we get those conversations started. And then we keep going through these. So that's just another resource there. And this was different, another one here, 1 within 10. Then you can go back here and see all of these other ones here. And the multiplication and division, again, is going to be for upper grades. And that is just the math flips. And then Howard County routines, we talk about this all throughout our school. Howard County, we use this a lot. Specifically, grade 1 is pulled up because of the majority of us being in grade 1. And there are resources upon resources here for different activities that you can do with your class as a group. The picture, the condition, again, I'm not going to go through all of these out of respect for your time, but the resources are endless. And if you ever need help going through them, excuse me, or understanding or needing resources on how to use them, Miss Tate has always said, and she asked me to remind us in this meeting as well, that she is available and her resources are our resources to use. So if you need her to make something for you, if you need resources, if you need dice, if you need dominoes, if you need anything, number paths, she has it ready to give to you. And she's also said that she's willing to make new things as well. I know some people, we talked about in our meeting previously about the popsicle sticks with numbers on them, that game where you drop the popsicle sticks and you decide there's 2 popsicle sticks and you have to add them up quickly to get 10, kind of like subitizing with the popsicle sticks. So that's group activities. And then always, 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 just like how we start with a number talk at the beginning, we always want to extend, and also at the end of the lesson, we want to conclude with a wrap up to kind of think about everything we did for the day. But this is an extension of the beginning, so the number talks. These are some ideas you can think of what number string will you use? How can you use what they're thinking in the beginning and tie it into the lesson that you're using with Envision later? And what are they struggling with? How can you help them? Specifically, the number talk can give you so much information about where the kids are at. It should ignite a conversation, and it helps them reasoning and be able to consider efficiency, which could be mental math, which is so very important. The extension is always important. This is a handout for you that I have already handed out to you in person, and you should have it. This is just a digital copy of that handout, and I'm going to briefly go through this really quickly because this is several pages, 20 pages long, of how we improve student math discourse. Again, all about number talks and how to talk high quality math talk, the benefits, the self-efficacy. We know as a school that we've been doing a lot of student collective efficacy, and so we've been diving into that book club that we've been doing at our school, and this is a way to promote self-efficacy. So, what other benefits can you envision? There are so many different conversations and tools in here, and this is just, again, the digital version of the handout that I already gave you. And moving forward, we have resources upon resources to use. This is your AmStyle math calendars. For example, I'll go to the March one for relevance. Here we go. March. And we are pretty familiar with these, but we'll go first grade March. And each month has a calendar like this that you can use and utilize in your classroom. And I know sometimes having too many resources is overwhelming for myself. Because we have the Envision curriculum and we have all of the things that we need to do in the manipulatives and the different small groups and the different games and all the things. And so sometimes these can be overwhelming, but just know that they can be in your back pocket if you ever need them, if you want to change it up. There's something for every single day and for every single month when you go back to the AmStyle Calendar Google Drive. So that's there. And one of the purposes of this PD is also to get all of these multiple resources in one space for you. So you don't have to just go look through all the shared drives through the school. You can go to this one Google Slideshow and click through to find the resources that you need. Again, more resources. This is the Henrico County that we haven't really touched on this one. We've done a lot with the Howard County, but not this one. So as I was creating this presentation, I was doing a little bit more deep diving into this resource, and I really liked the videos and the today's number. These are just different starter number talks that you can do. So instead of the subitizing, you could do a notice and wonder, today's number, mystery number, number tracks, all of these different. There are so many. Guess my rule, two truths and a lie, quick images, so many resources that are really great. And I've actually used one of these, the today's number. I use that pretty frequently in my classroom, and the kids love it. So that's the Henrico County. And then Steve here, this is another with the Learning Mission Estimistries. We talk about that a lot. All of these different clues, trying to figure out what a number is, getting them thinking about numbers. Again, this whole presentation is revolving around number talks, talking about math, thinking about math, talking about math. So that's another resource. And then also Nearpod, as we know that our district just purchased Nearpod for everyone to use. And so this is just, you can use Nearpod and embed. They have the already preloaded math lessons that you can put in there just to give the kids another resource to do the independent work when they go. You can preload them for the class. When you're doing small groups, you can send them individually to the other kids that aren't in your current small group can be working on a Nearpod lesson. And that is all of the resources that I have bundled up in there for you. Just a quick recap. This presentation was about instruction, math instruction, and engaging your students. And so we've talked about the beginning, how it's so important to start the math block with a number talk, get the kids thinking. One thing that I love to start my math block with is magic number, where we all stand up, and my magic number could be 120 and we're counting by tens. And then I think we're most of us are familiar with magic number, where the person that lands on 120 sits down, and then you keep going and you start over, and whoever is left standing wins. And my kids love it so much. They always ask to play it more than once. Guess my number, different little a little icebreaker game at the beginning of your math block is always a way to engage those students. And then the activities we discussed, all of the things for the meat of the lesson. When you're working with the Envision curriculum, you're working through the curriculum, you want to add a little flair to it, add some technology to it, add anything that you would like to help the students get more engaged. Because when they're engaged and they're thinking and they're talking about math, they're thinking about math. And vice versa, when they're thinking about math, they can talk about math and talking to their partners. And I've always been a huge proponent for students learn best through each other. So I give a lot of time for turn and talks and partner share, think, pair, share. Share with me what your partner said to really increase the listening that they're doing and all of these skills that we do in this 60-minute math block. It's very packed full. And lastly, again, I just wanted to reiterate how important it is to end your math lesson with a recap, just as I am recapping this presentation. Some of the research that Ms. Tate and I have been discussing shows that recapping and going back over quickly about what you did throughout the lesson really helps it stick. So one thing I love to do is in an exit ticket, sometimes I let them tell me, sometimes I let them write it on a sticky note. I'll say, tell me one thing that was really easy for you today. Tell me one thing that was kind of okay. You might need a little more practice, but you're okay. You learned something new today. And tell me something that was really hard today that you think, whoa, that was hard, Miss Hardy. I really don't think that I understand that and I need more help on it. So those three things. Or tell me one thing that stood out to you about what your partner said today. Or tell me one thing that was fun that you did in math today. Just something like that to help them start thinking and really close that math block of what did we do today, and let's wrap a bow on it and know that that's where we're stopping and we're going to start back again tomorrow. And that's just very important. And just as we just concluded this as a recap, that's really good to do with your students. So this brings to me to the end of our presentation. Again, I just want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join this meeting and listen to me talk about math and number talks and engaging students and all the things. And thank you so much. This is just a quick evaluation. If you scan this QR code, it will take you to a Google form. It's just a couple of questions that will ask you as an evaluation of this presentation, maybe something I could work on for next time, something that was good, something that I need to work on. Just a quick few little questions. If you could fill that out for me, I would greatly appreciate it. And I think this concludes our meeting. So once again, not trying to say it too many times, but I really am grateful for you coming today and listening, and always reach out with any questions. And Miss Tate also asked me to tell you at the end of this presentation that she is available for questions at any time. So again, thank you so much, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.